Okay everyone, welcome back. I'm going to steer a bit away of the CPL, that tournament that was held in China and from which I've been covering a lot of series lately. I might get back to it. I think I have at least one more series that I'm curious about, so I might take a look at it later on. But for now I just grabbed hold of this replay and I'm curious about it. I just sat down, gonna watch it, and well, while I'm watching it I can just cast it, record it and upload it to YouTube so I can share it with all of you. This is a Korean pros matchup, fresh from the Korean ladder. We're gonna have a PvT battle that I think might be very interesting. I'm curious about a specific player here because, well, he doesn't release that many replays publicly, and I think we need to thank his opponent for releasing this one. Spawning here on this 8 o'clock position, we're gonna have NEXSickness. He's a member of Team Xanax. I think he's a B teamer at the moment, so not amongst the best on Team Xanax, but still a work in progress. I went to check his rankings. He's currently a top Masters in Korea, almost breaking into the Grandmasters. On his position on the Korean servers is 211th, meaning that he's almost hitting that top 200, and we might be seeing him as a Grandmaster in the future. Would be nice. Good luck for NEXSickness. But he's going to be facing here against a very menacing Terran player. Spawning on this 5 o'clock position, we're going to have this red Terran that goes by the name of IMMvp. Well, there's not much to say about MVP. He's one of the most solid Terrans in the whole world. Very menacing, very sharp on his decision making, consistent, dedicated, with some awesome builds and brilliant micro and macro. What can I say? If you guys want to see more of his skill set, just sit down and enjoy the latest MLG rally, and I'm pretty sure you guys gonna know what I'm talking about. For now, Sickness is gonna have to face him, and I'm not sure if he has what it takes. I consider that Sickness is at least a couple of notches under MVP, but this is only in theory. We all know that on the Korean ladder there's a lot of quality gamers and there's a lot of competition, meaning that you might find some superstars occasionally and some players that actually has the consistency to one day show up on the GSL and being solid enough to face players like MVP. Will it be in Sickness' case? Well, I'm not sure, but I guess we're gonna have to see and follow this matchup to see if he's able to stand his ground and show a bit of opposition towards what MVP is gonna try to throw his way. For now, MVP, as you guys can see, still gasless. Might be a sign that he's planning ahead to go for a gasless expansion, try to just improve on his macro game fairly soon, invest on his economy, and have a 2-base play on the early stages of the game. While here on Sickness side, he grabbed both the simulators at the same time, went for a gateway into Cybercore and now getting a second gateway, instantly picking up that warp gate tech, so I wonder what his plan is. He skipped completely the Zealot production, as you guys can see, now Chrono boosting the first Stalker, so he's gonna have some range units to shoot down any sort of scouting unit that IMMvp might throw his way. And at the same time, as you can see, MVP landing the command center on his Natural Expo, starting to build it here, and he's gonna be soon playing out of 2 bases with all the benefits for his economy, obviously, and for his macro ability. With just a couple of Marines, 3 Marines now, just keeping guard here on the ramp, making sure that any scouting units sent by Sickness will be just shot down on sight, and he's not gonna be able to take any more information. But whoa, at the same time, MVP going for 3 more racks, so 4 racks play for MVP right there. Seems like he's gonna commit himself to plenty of bio play. I'm just not sure how aggressive he's planning to be with that 4 racks play, while we see the SEV from MVP arriving here on the Natural Expo from Sickness, but no chance. He wasn't able to enter the base. The only information he was able to gather was the fact that Sickness is still not playing out of 2 bases or attempting to expand. He's still stuck on that 1 base play, and from there MVP might start getting his decision making rolling. There it is, the proxy pylon for Sickness. I think he's gonna start warping in some units from this north position here so they can just rush MVP and try to gain a position dominance over this area here on the Natural Expo. And here he comes, the Stalkers advancing, trying to focus the fire on that SEV, stopping the production of the bunker, and now focusing fire on the Marine count, forcing MVP to pull some of his SCVs out of the mineral line, but there's only 2 Stalkers left, meaning that it's time to run away to escape before he gets all of these units lost. He's just running back to that pylon once more, with MVP having plenty of Marines, especially now playing out of 4 racks, and the moment he is able to stabilize his economy here, he's gonna be able to profit so much. Meanwhile, on Sickness side, we do have those 2 gates, and ooh, robotics facility getting built, almost finished, and 2 more more gates. Which way is he heading, I wonder? For now, plenty of sentries here, backed up by Stalkers. Inside MVP's base, we do have an engineering bay getting built there on the back. I'm not sure exactly what MVP might be considering at the moment. The engineering bay might be to make some sort of time push with a +1 on his units, on his Marines. It's an option, but at the same time, we do see that we're going to have Warp Prism coming out for Sickness. Oh, this is going to be a very cool build here. Seems like he might be attempting some sort of drops on the main base, or at least to provide some visibility for his units. While we do see MVP getting a missile turret here on the entrance to his natural expo, I wonder if he's afraid of some kind of DT play out of one base. For now, what I can see is that they're going to start battling out here in the front of the natural expo with a nice force field play, splitting the forces from MVP and actually slicing a lot of those Marines, basically halving the forces from MVP. That was a big hit. At the moment, we do have 6 sentries, 2 Stalkers against 14 Marines, and here he comes, the Warp Prism loaded with the sentries straight into this main base, and ooh, awesome play, force field play containing the movements from MVP. MVP won't be able to show up here, while this our Warp Prism picked up all of the units, brought them all up on some elevator action into this main base of MVP, and MVP being forced to pull all of his SCVs out of the mineral line to defend this, and it wasn't enough. At the same time, there's more than enough sentries to keep bashing away at this Marine count and blocking them, not allowing MVP to actually get into his base and defend his buildings. One barracks going down, with the Zealots just stabbing those barracks to death, being helped out by those sentries. And keep in mind that this Warp Prism keeps warping in more units in, and there's basically no chance for MVP to actually climb up the ramp. Brilliant play by Sickness, just killing all of those units behind the force field. At the same time, we do have the Zealots here just stabbing all of those SCVs, or at least the remaining ones, on the main base, on the mineral line to the main base of MVP, and forcing MVP to GG out of this match. Impressive play by Sickness. Very interesting Warp Prism usage here, with him being able to warp in everything, and basically, well, MVP just paid for the fact that he had all of his forces here standing on the front on this ramp, and with Sickness just abusing the mobility that Warp Prism provided to him. I honestly think that MVP probably was expecting some kind of DT play out of one base. He even made the missile turret there, but seems like that, well, that brilliant force field usage here on the ramp was able to provide enough time for Sickness to just start destroying the buildings inside MVP base. He was basically playing out of 3 racks now, soon to be only 2, because this one is almost killed. And he didn't have any forces, as you can see. 2 Marines against 4 Zealots, 3 Stalkers, and 4 sentries is nothing. So, brilliant play. Congrats to Sickness is all I have to say. MVP just got completely surprised there by this move from Sickness, and awesome build. Maybe you guys should take a look at it, especially Protoss players. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. See you all later. Have fun.